Good day, everybody, and welcome to my new podcast, On Beat with KJV. I am your host, KJV, and on this podcast, I and an occasional host or two will discuss topics like food, life, and of course, music, and other items of interest to me, and hopefully yours too. So, set your EQs and adjust your headphones and enjoy On Beat with KJV. Good day, and thanks for tuning me in, and welcome to the second episode of On Beat with KJV. I am your host, KJV, and I'm having a good day today. I hope you are too. Well, I actually got my cast off today, and so we'll be going down to the house this weekend, and we expecting some deliveries to be there, so we need to be there to get that stuff installed, wash and dry, and a small deep freezer. But let me just recap of what we talked about last week. So in the last show, we talked about DJing, and that's, in my opinion, is one of the 5 elements of hip hop. And as I said before, these are just my opinions, but the 5 elements of hip hop, according to KJV, are: number 1, DJing; number 2, MCing; number 3, b-boying; and number 4, graffiti art; and number 5, knowledge. And like I said before, these are just my opinions. You can always hit me up, leaving me a message on here, on Anchor, or you can hit me up and leave messages at my Facebook and YouTube page by looking up Big Beats Inc. 808. That's BIG BEATS INC 808, all one word, or just hit me up on my Twitter page, and that's at KJV710. So you can leave me your opinions and things like it, if you like or dislike my opinions, or just give me some of yours. But in this episode, we'll be discussing MCing, which is the oral aspect of these elements. But before I want to get deep into this topic, I just like to tell you, man, I enjoy working on these episodes. And it's been a hectic few months. So, like I said, we're going through the ropes of buying a house again and moving. It's just a mental drain. And me talking about something that I love is just what I need to keep my sanity in check, you know. Like, me and the wife decided just to, since we're going to be brand new, just toss everything and buy all new furniture. And it's just been a task. But we very excited about it, and, ready to get settled in and just be happy to have a home, it's better than an apartment, like you said, because I really couldn't create music the way I wanted to. Because, in an apartment, you got neighbors and, up and above, because we like on the second floor. So it's crazy. But, now that I got a basement again, I can work out of, I can let that bass roll. But, as saying before, that's enough with my personal life. And let me get on to the next segment of this show. And now it's time for the segment that I call On Food with KJV. And as I said before, in this segment, I'll give you a review of a restaurant in which I ate earlier in the week, or about a dinner that I prepared in the week. And plus, I give them or rate them with forks, where I said 5 forks will be the highest and 1 fork will be the lowest. And The restaurant I'll be reviewing is Logan Steakhouse. Now, I can't say all the Logan Steakhouse are the same because I'm originally from Tennessee, and Logan's is pretty good down there. They entrees aren't that far, but their appetizers and drinks be on point. So, I went into the restaurant with this in mind, knowing that the entree would probably be mediocre. But we decided to go to this location because we never have been at this location before. And it's, I stay in Michigan, and I stay kind of like in the Grand Rapids area, but this Logan's is in Caledonia, Michigan. And if you stay in this area, it's over there by Panera and the Myers and the Target over in that little shopping center area. But as I was saying, I went into the restaurant with that in mind, that the entrees wouldn't be that good, but the appetizers were. And we had a host, and his name was Justin. Justin was great. Anything we wanted, he made sure that we kept drinks, and he always come by the table and asking if we need anything. So we placed our order. My daughter wanted to order appetizer with and she wanted fried pickles. Now, they brought them fried pickles out, and they were fire. And I looked at my wife, I said, man, has Logan's ever been this good? Because it was actually on point. I actually was eating them. I mean, me and my daughter was tearing them up. And they gave us like a wrench to dip in. And for real, they wrench. I don't know where they get it from, but it is very tight. And my daughter loves ranch, and I don't care too much for ranch. And that ranch was good, I must say. But then he came back, we was ready to order our entrees. And so my daughter, she got a Caesar salad and chicken strips with fries. And my son had the All-American burger with fries. My wife ordered the fried Cajun shrimp and a baked potato. And I ordered the trio platter, which I know I ain't going to eat it all, but how could you pass it up? It had a grilled whole chicken wings and some smoked sausage, and you got fries. I got fries with mine, and it came with a grilled shrimp. I didn't know it had rice, but it had a little bit of rice on it. So we sitting there talking and stuff, and they finally came out. It took a while. I don't know why, because we went in there early. It was before 6 o'clock, so we beat like the dinner rush and everything. But it took a while for it to come out. And it looked good, but I didn't see no steam coming off of it. So I took a piece of sausage and I touched it with my hand. No heat whatsoever. It was just like lukewarm. And I was like, okay. I took a bite of it. It was like lukewarm. But the sausage did taste good. And I took another bite. And then I broke into the shrimp. It was cold. Grilled shrimp cold, like it done been frozen. So I was like, okay. And then I took a bite of the chicken wing, and it sucked. And I let my son taste it sucked. So I called Justin over, like, hey, man, yo, this right here, it come out cold. I don't know why it took so long. And these shrimps are frozen. And, I gave it to him. I said, just touch it. He said, yeah, it's cold. So he took the shrimps back and bought me some different shrimps. I said, well, I ain't finna eat none of this, man, because it's cold. I said, I'm funny. I like my food hot, so here, you just take it off. He said, well, what can I do? I said, just take it off. I don't want to wait another 30 minutes because my family already have their dinner. I want to sit here and enjoy dinner with them. I don't want to, they'll be eating and I'm just sitting here waiting, So I said, just take it off and we'll be just fine. Like I said, my daughter said everything was okay, but as long as she got ranch and it's a good ranch, she's straight. My son, he just huff stuff down. He kills the food. He's growing teenager, so he just swallowed everything. But my wife said the Cajun shrimp, they wasn't that great either. But I taste them, they wasn't on spot either. But they said it was all right. But like we said, we went in here knowing that the appetizers usually always taste great and the entrees be mediocre. But Justin, he kept saying he was sorry. So I'm like, man, it ain't your fault, whatever's going on in the kitchen is their fault. But the manager came out and he was like, hey, how can I fix this? I can fix you another one. I said, no, I explained to him like I explained to Jason. I said, but he said, but you gonna be hungry? I said, no, I ain't gonna be hungry. I said, I just go to Arby's and get a beef and cheddar because, they got the meats. And so he was just, he laughed. He's like, no, I said, but no. I said, I'm funny. I wanted to eat with my family. So I just, after I leave here, I go to Arby's. But they took it off. But I still left a good tip for Justin because he took care of me. He tried to fix the situation, but you know how it is. But I'm going to rate this, and I'm going to give them 3 forks. But I'm giving that because the appetizers were good and the service was awesome. But I guess that I won't be eating entrees there again, just appetizers and drinks. But yeah, that's my experience at this Logan's. I've been to Logan's. I ain't never got my food cold like that before. But like I said, I don't know why, but that's crazy because we beat the dinner rush. It wasn't that many people in there, so I don't know. Maybe they was still trying to get ready for dinner and hadn't had everything prepared, and they just got caught up or overwhelmed by something. But that's it for the On Food with KJV. And coming up next is the horoscope section of the show. All right. Now, welcome to the horoscope section of this show, where I read the horoscope for Cancers. As I said before, I will only be reading for Cancers because what? I am a Cancer myself. So the finance horoscope for 2020 part 2 is as follows. The Lord of Wealth, Sun for your zodiac, is in the 6th house at the beginning of the year with Mercury, Guru, Saturn, and Ketu. Venus is present in the 7th house at the beginning of the year and is indicating that you will get the benefit in business, but at the same time, you will have to invest money in new projects. You cannot get the benefit immediately, but you can certainly hope for big profits in the future. It is advisable for you to discuss it well before investing in any project. Do your full research in every way. Do not try to take shortcuts or try your hand in risky areas. Long-term investments can be beneficial for you as well. Now, with that said, I dibble and dab in the stock market. And I would like to say I make out like a bandit all the time, but it's better than having a lump sum in the bank where your money is working to make money for the bank, but it's just sitting there collecting pennies for you, and making hundreds of dollars for them. So I suggest, if possible, you can open up a account with your bank or a place like Fidelity. Now, they ain't no sponsors or nothing. That's just who I go through because I used to have an account with them, my 401k with a company that I work for, and I dabbled and dabbed with the stocks there, and so I just opened up my own account just for stocks and things like that. Be sure that if you do this, before you start trading, you learn the ins and outs of it because it can be brutal. Treacherous. Because I studied and learned the patterns before I bought it, and I thought I had one on point. And see, I was there. See, I bought 1,000 shares of SGSI, Spectrum Global Solutions, Inc. And it was straight, And I bit the dust, but see, it was my fault because, I had made a profit and was going to sell that day. But I said, man, let me just hold on one more day, being greedy to see if it go up. And the bottom fell out. I mean, it fell out. I lost like, $250 or $300 just in, bam, lost that profit and then some. So, that was just by the end of the day. I was going to hold on to the next day. But like I said, not trying to be funny. Here's a good one for you. You won't believe it, but just between me and you, Dollar General, the Dollar General store, they killing. Well, it was killing for me last year, and I wish I didn't sell it because, man, it's on point right now. But that's just about my experience with the stock market. And, like I'm saying, it goes well with, like I say, I read it for entertainment, but sometimes that horoscope be on point. And it's crazy. But there you have it. The Cancer horoscope for 2020. And now to the meat of our program, the main topic, MCing, one of the 5 elements of hip hop. As I said, this is all according to KJV, your host. These are my opinions of what are the main elements of hip hop are. Those elements being, number 1, DJing, number 2, MCing, which is the topic of this show today, number 3, b-boying, number 4, graffiti art, and number 5, knowledge. Now, some of y'all, today I'm going to tell you what an MC is and what a rapper is. Now, to me, there's a distinction between the two. See, originally, an MC was an act or a host of an event, and they were put there to facilitate the running of the show, to make it go smooth, to introduce other acts or people that was doing the show, just to make the planned event run smooth. But nowadays, MCs have become what we call like the modern day rapper. In hip hop, MC or rapper is just the musical artist or performing that usually creates or perform vocals of his or her own original material. But like I said, to me, a MC is used as a term of distinction. It's referring to an artist with great skills. They have mastered their skills to perfection. They know how to enunciate words. They know how to control their breath. They know how to get their vision across and not mumble. I know we get into the stuff, we got mumble rappers and things like that. It's crazy. And this is off point totally. We went to Wendy's one day because, I like they chili and baked potatoes. Man, we got in line. We went inside. And I was sitting there, Now, the cashier, the server, he was looking at us, but I didn't know he was saying that because I just bust out laughing in his face because he sounded like a mumble rapper. Now look, kid you not, even my wife looked at me like, huh? This is how it sounds. Man, I just laughing. I was like, huh? You was talking to me, man? I was like, man, I'm just saying, brother to brother, you're going to have to know how to enunciate to get on in the world. I said, I didn't hear or even know that you was even talking to me. I thought you was like thinking out loud or something. For real, it was like, So I guess it was like, welcome to Wendy's. Can I help you today? I still don't know, but yeah, that's why I say an MC is a distinction between a rapper. And I'm not saying the rappers ain't on point, but I'm just saying, to be an MC, that's just like you put in your work to become an MC. It's like tiers. Like you got rappers, got good rappers, but when you become great, you're an MC. And like I said, some of those MCs to me, these are just some of my favorite rappers. Here's some of mine. I don't know if y'all know, I like a lot of Southern rappers. Tila, 8Ball, MJG. I love Rakim. I love Jada Kids, Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J. Shoot, Heavy D. Man, y'all didn't give Heavy D his props. He was off the hook. Big Boy, Andre 2000, MC Light, Moni Love, Missy Elliott, Lil' Kim. Man, that list goes on and on. Let me take it back in the 80s, man. Talking about like Rodney Yojo, Cooley, Slick Rick. Do y'all even remember MC Mr. Twist and the Death Squad? Oh my God. And nowadays you got Cash Money, Migos. Man, the list goes on from Future. Man, I can't forget about Biggie. Biggie Smalls, for real. Man, I got Jay-Z. He's still kind of tight. I like young Jay-Z when he was first coming out. That's what he was the bomb. God, I can go on. Nas, Snoop. Who can't forget Snoop, man? You know who'd have still been on top if that wouldn't happen to his throat? The DOC, the Doc, man. Yes, the Doc was the bomb. And that was the bomb. Like I said, I can go on for days and days and call out people. Shoot, man. Another very underrated rapper is Will Smith, Fresh Prince. Man, who put him in the same category as Heavy D because they didn't have to curse. They still got their point across. They still was tight. People overlook people like that. Like I said, I can go on and on for days and days and days. But let me get back on point about the MC, one of the 5 elements of hip hop. So I'm going to break it down to you, like just a little touch on some of these points of it, like the roots of hip hop, the flow, the rhyme, and mainly the deliveries and performance. And so here we go. Now, let's talk about the roots of MCing. Now, some people say that, it's kind of like Jamaican, like, when they started doing the hot crazes in Miami. But like I said, rapping somewhat, or what you would say, MCing, it can be traced back all the way to Africa. It has African roots. Like centuries way before hip hop, music has always existed, and especially like in West Africa. Now they used to tell stories about dancing around and delivering stories rhythmically, over drums and other instruments, telling tribal stories about journeys, about life. So, like I said, MCing and rhyming, being a rapper, it goes way back to Africa. So, like I said, this is just my opinion. But if you look at history and read like I do, you'll find out it's very deep. So, like I said, blues music, it's rooted in the work of songs and spirituals of the slaves back in the day. It's greatly influenced by West African music traditions. So I don't want to get too deep in the roots. Like I said, if you got any more information and you want to talk to me about it, hit me up on my social media sites. Once again, the YouTube and Facebook pages go under Big Beats Inc. 808, BIGBEATSINC 808, all one word. Or hit me up at Twitter at KJV710.com. Like I said, it can be traced all the way back to African roots. And then as it progressed, we get back to like DJing. Cool Herc. He started doing saying little bitty flows, to get the crowd hype and stuff. So then he graduated on up. Then you got MCs, man. Like I said earlier, I can name out Run DMC. Goodness gracious. Just wow, the list goes on and on. Think about the 80s and 70s and goodness gracious. It's just wild. But I'm not gonna get too much into the roots because everybody has their own opinions. But like I said, if you want to share those with me, hit me up on those social media sites. And if you use Anchor, hit me up and leave a message. I might make a whole episode out of all the messages that people leave me. But let's get on to the flow. Now, I think flow is defined as the rhythm and rhymes of hip hop. The songs, the lyrics, and how they interact. It's just how people break it down into rhyme. The rhyme schemes and the rhythm. It's poetry in motion. It has a cadence to it. It can also be referred to as elements of delivery. The pitch, the volume, and each rapper usually has a distinct sound, a distinct way, or like I said, cadence that they flow. And a lot of people are copied because people just like their style, and that style works for them. And somebody like Slick Rick, he got his own style, and a lot of people done it. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane. A lot of people want to sound like him. We can even get on into R&B. How people want to sound just like somebody else. Just to get on. But like I said, I'm glad that we as listeners, or that we have some of the listeners have their own mindset and they know what's hot and what's not, because these record companies now put out a lot of garbage. And because they can pay radio stations a lot of money, they get repeated and get airplay a lot than a lot of the good songs. So they dictate what's hot and not, or not. Well, it seems that way. But, if you have your own mind, you got good taste in music, they can't do that for you. Like I said, that's why I wish I had a radio station or a podcast that could put, because I would play a lot of the unsung heroes that don't get to be played. They may have a album out, but you just know that one song. But song number 5 is the bomb. It's whacking and every word is on point and the beat is fire. Now see, today, a lot, I'm gonna say rappers, not MCs, they got beats that are banging. And like I said, I'm a producer myself. But I love an MC that can enunciate and deliver and paint a picture for me in order to keep my attention and pull me into their life or pull me into whatever they rapping about. That's just me. I don't go by today's media because, today the young folks, and not trying to be funny, you could put out a song maybe once a year, maybe every 2 years, or an album, because they would actually pick your main song for that, and then the radio would start playing the different songs from the track to see if you liked it or not. Now it's just, we need a hit right now. Play that one song for about 6 months, and then like they don't even hardly play 2 minute songs from the album. They want you to put out a brand new album because the attention span of the generation today is so short that if you don't put out a new record every 3 or 6 months, you old school. Well, that's how it is for them. But that's just it with me and on the roots and what flow is. And now let's go to what I say. Another part of it is rhyme. A lot of MCs, they use different techniques. It can be a complex rhyming scheme. These complex skills or themes can involve multiple rhymes in a rhyme complex. Like I said, a rhyme complex, if you don't know, is like a section with consistently rhyming words or internal rhymes within a song, or as you can say, bars. And some of those rhymes can be offbeat rhymes. It's just according to how that rapper composed their song. It's like I said, there's a lot of different rappers has different. Now people that didn't know, like back in the day, and I don't know if you familiar with Silk the Shocker. The way he came out, it was just like kind of off, but I enjoyed it, and it was tight because with nobody else doing it. But now you go nowadays, everybody trying to rap like Silk the Shocker, and they was like talking about him because they weren't used to it then. But he started something that a phase that's going on now today. Like I know a lot of y'all young folks out there talking about, well, who is Silk the Shocker? He was part of Master P them group, No Limit, which was fire. Coming from the South, which it ain't the first person that had done it, selling records out of the trunk and stuff like that. But he went on to be a mogul, getting his own like 80-20 deal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, all day long, rhyming technique. Like think about people like Too Short. You know what I'm saying? Not being funny. MC Hammer was on point too. Heavy D, the Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, Kool Mo D, Jurassic 5. Man, God, I could go on for days and days. Grand Poobah. Man, I'm just sitting here thinking about Be Fat. God, listen to that. Oh, man. It's just like, it's great. Chub Rock, that's another rapper that really is very underrated because his rhyming skill was on point. He's a big boy, but hey, he had that pen. He had that pen. But like I said, these are just my opinions and theories that I have about the rhyme. But the main thing to keep a listener captivated is delivery and performance. That's in anything that you do. That could be a comedian, it could be an actor, MC, a rapper, a poet. Hey, yeah, and a lot of y'all poets out there, y'all can be MCs. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably could ghostwrite for some of these people. I ain't gonna get into too much about ghostwriting, but some of y'all poets out there that write poetry, like I said, rhyming is poetry in motion. So those of y'all that can write poetry should think about going into writing or ghostwriting for some people because some of y'all poems be on point. Now, I ain't trying to be funny. I'm into poetry. My wife writes poetry, and she got a couple of books out. They be tight. I like poetry before, but she turned me on to a lot of different stuff and a lot of different people and a lot of groups of friends. They tight, and they actually can write. And I write songs myself now. Me and my wife are sitting back thinking about writing a couple albums and put them out there with songs, see if people buy them. Because, I got a lot of songs for my beats, and some people buy them to go with them. Well, not songs, raps for my beats. They buy those too, but, they pay well for those types of things. But I'm thinking about going into business of writing because, network administrators, it plays great. But if I can sit there and do what I love and write a song and you buy it, give me about 5,000 a song or more, go ahead then. I do that because, I can make, it takes me, I ain't gonna get too much into it, but one song is like, maybe it's according to where I'm working and what I'm doing, like what job I'm on. That could be like, one song goes up a month or half a month's salary. So, writing is it. But back to this, like I said, delivery is the main thing. You have to have enunciation. You got to develop vocal presence. Like I said earlier, breath control. Because, man, you got to know how to take a breath and hold it without it interfering with your flow and your rhyme. So, vocal presence is the distinctiveness of a rapper's voice on record. Like I said, some rappers and MCs just have a so distinct presence and sound that you know who that is. And nowadays, record companies know this, and so they try to find people and have them try to sound just like another person. There's no room for individuality or being your own person. They want you to sound like so they can get sales. Back in the day, it was more like being original. You took pride in being who you were and sounding the way you sound. That's what made you stand out in crowd. But now everybody wants to dress the same, look the same, sound the same. Enunciation is another one because that's essential to being able to flow. Some rappers exaggerate, for a comic effect, and some, that's just an artistic style. It's different types of performers. Like today, like I love some of the Texas stuff. Some of the stuff, they say, country folks like myself, slow. We talk slow, we drag. That's a nice style. I know you done heard of my boy DJ Screw from Texas, bless his soul, he's passed on. But man, did he come up with a sound. Now, I used to actually do that for real, like back in the 80s. But, and I still got cassette tapes to prove it, but it wasn't on point like that. I just loved the way it sounded because it drug out the bass and it made it longer and it made it deeper. And so that's why I did it on some of those. And I used to sell tapes a lot and even CDs. But I still got a lot of radio broadcasts that we used to listen to from Tennessee. Used to come on Saturday nights. And it was a DJ, I think his name was White Knight back in the day. Man, he turned it out every weekend. That radio station was 92Q, man. They turned it out. And we had a record store in Nashville. It was New Life Records, man. You can get anything there just about. He had his day, like his mixes, he put them on there. They had local artists, like back then, but he went, I guess international. Pistol, God, man, Rain and the Thunder, that was awesome. That album was awesome. And then Cool Daddy Fresh and people like that. But holler at me or check out my YouTube page. You can hear some of those songs on there. But as I was saying, those topics that I talked about with the roots, the flow, the rhyme, and delivery, especially delivery, that's a very important skill to a rapper to have. And he must master that if he wants to become what I say as an MC. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that I touched on some of these topics. I know it was not as broad, which I try not to be broad. I try to be specific, and I only talk about things that I know about. So it could have been not the way that you want it, but like I said, these are my opinions and my ideas and my theories, and I hope you enjoyed this show. And that's it for this episode. And until next time, peace, love, and hair grease. That concludes this episode. I am your host, KJV. Stay tuned every other Tuesday for new episodes on Beat with KJV.